Greetings, greetings. Yes, it is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday Mantra, and I am your host, Pete Lorimer. This week, I want to go over something that is particularly subtle and dark and toxic. And the name of this mantra is the sweet, subtle poison of second guessing. Yes, the sweet, subtle poison of second guessing. So I want to talk about today about vacillating, about not being able to come to a decision. Many of us are very lucky and we can make a decision pretty quickly, but I want to just talk about mediocrity. I want to talk about playing in the middle, and I want to talk about the sweet and subtle poison of second guessing ourselves. It's very, very interesting because second guessing, right? We're humans, right? We have the chatter. We have what I call the debating society that mine lives particularly right in the base of my neck and just likes to chew me out at any given moment. And really the response, and I've spoken about this before, but the response for everything that I suggest to myself is, that's not good. It's not going to work, Pete. Sorry. No, I don't really think that's the best move, mate. You know what? Not only do I think it's a shit idea, I think people are going to hate it, and I think people are going to think you're stupid, and you're too old, you're too fat, and just, forget it, mate. Just play in the middle, do what you think is good, do what people are telling you, which I'm going to cover in a moment, because that's a whole other ball of wax of losing one's direction in one's career. But I want to talk about second guessing, which makes us kind of play in the middle. The 80-20 rule, which I know many of you already know, 80-20 rule in this, and it's not just real estate, it's kind of in any business. The 80-20 rule is the following. 20% of the people get 80% of the business, 80% of the business get that remaining 20% of the business. And I guarantee you, yes, that's a new word, ladies and gentlemen, guarantee that the 80% that only get the 20% of business are living in the middle, are bedfellows with mediocrity. Now, it doesn't make them bad folks. It just makes them potentially fueled by fear, which I'm going to get into next. I looked up what the, good morning, lots of you joining in today. I thought it was a holiday. So I want to talk about what exactly mediocrity is. Now, please do not take that I'm saying you're bad people or someone who has fears is a bad person. That's not the case. Mediocrity just means that we play in the middle. The dictionary definition of mediocrity is the following few words. Ordinariness. Commonplace, lack of inspiration, passableness. I didn't even know passableness was a word. But none of those words are how I would like to be referred to my clients. Imagine, Pete's great, but he has a bit of a lack of inspiration. Or, I like Pete and Cindy, but they're rather commonplace. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So we have to strive to be in that 20%. And that 20% means that we have to freaking go for it. Now, I have, over the years read many people's successful books. You read all of the usual suspects, right? If you read their books, and one of them springs to mind, the guy, I forget his name, he owns Berkshire Hathaway. What's his name? One of the richest fellas in the world. His thing and many others is the following. What people have asked, what do you contribute your success to? And there are two themes that permeate everyone I've ever met in success. The theme number one is naturally self-belief. And theme number two, there might actually be three themes. Theme number two is speed to make a decision. That doesn't mean reckless. That doesn't mean, hey, Pete, you want to do it? I'll do it. It doesn't mean that. It means that we weigh it over a period of time. I would probably say 24 hours. Warren Buffett, thank you very much. I would say 24 hours. I'm going to give you a great rule, okay? I'm going to give you a great rule here. So whenever I have wanted to make a big decision, right? I get all kind of passionate and I'm like, I want to do it now. If it sounds like a good idea now, I really want to act upon it. Now, most of the time we can do that with smaller decisions, but if it's changing companies, changing career, not moving to a different city, but something that's not the biggest decision of your life, but it still has gravity. My golden rule is this: give it exactly 24 hours. Not exactly 24 hours. If I think it's a great idea now, I'm going to think it's a great idea first thing in the morning. Inserting the pause in between any decision that I have to make is awesome. But putting longer than 24 hours, or if it's a bigger decision a week, or if it's a massive decision a month, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we got to act quicker. We absolutely have to pick a lane and go. So what holds us back? What holds us back is, bless our hearts, right? We are emotional creatures. We want approval. We want someone to go, "That's a great idea, Pete. What a great idea. You're so smart." Well, I was once working with a fella by the name of Glenn Danzig back in the music business. And he said to me, "If you want unconditional approval, get a dog." Now, harsh words, seeing as I was working on his album as a producer, but nevertheless, those words stuck with me. It's probably the best thing I took from that album. And we crave approval. We crave people to go, "It's a great idea." That, ladies and gentlemen, is the beginning of the end. Now, I'm going to go off topic for a little bit. I, like many other Americans and English and whatever people in the planet Earth, I have struggled with losing weight or not being the way I want to and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I find the gym very boring. I don't like getting shouted at. I don't like doing boot camp. I don't like having a trainer. I don't like all this shit that people do, which is awesome if it works for you. I don't like spinning. I have found something that actually works for me. And I'll tell you what it is. I may have mentioned it before. It's kind of silly. But I bought myself a VR Quest about, September, October last year. And I love the boxing program. And I love doing a boxing program followed by elliptical. Now, the only way I can do that is taking my stupid VR headset to the gym. So this guy here, 5:30 in the morning, is at the gym with my VR headset on in a corner shadow boxing. Now, initially I was like, wow, people are going to think I'm like a lunatic, or this is embarrassing, or I'm going to pull my headset off and there'll be some buff dude standing next to me. But then I got out of my head because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And I have lost more weight than I've ever lost by doing the VR headset followed by the elliptical, because that's what works for me, and I don't give a shit what other people say to me or think about me in the gym. It works for me, and this is what we need to do with our careers, right? If we wait for other people's opinions, we're going to be waiting for the rest of our lives. Here is a tip that I want to give you. If you have a large decision like changing careers, forget that one. If you have a large decision where, let's just say, a lot of real estate agents watch this, you have been door knocking for years and your business has been declining, you've been doing Zillow and maybe your business is flatlining, and you really want to leap into something else, which could be networking, it could be joining a club, it could be social media, it could be whatever you want it to be. What happens next is my debating society in the back of my neck go, that's probably not a good idea. You need to play it safe, because if you stick your neck too far out, you're going to get your head cut off, and you really can't afford to learn how to do this in a new way because you need to make money, but the money's been declining, or I'm unhappy doing it the way I want to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would say to you this: if you're going to try a new career, or you're going to try a new direction in your new career, pick a date, which I would recommend is 1 year from the date you start. And I hope to God that date is today. 1 year from the date you start, give it absolutely everything you got. Throw everything and the kitchen sink at it. Make sure you are firmly and permanently for that 12 months in that 20%, not the 80%. We gotta be in the 20% where we are living by our own mental rules. Now, what if you fail? If you fail, the twisted thing is, failure is just as valuable as success, right? But I see people playing in the middle for years and grumbling about it. For me, jump into that 20%, give it everything you got, because maybe you're trying real estate and real estate is a brutal game. And you give it everything you got for a year, for 12 months, then you can turn around and go, you know what? I gave it everything. I know this is not for me. What's next, life? Instead of half-arsing it for years and months, because second guessing what other people think, second guessing ourselves, second guessing our own opinions is just so subtly toxic, it will take us down. It's the kind of the slowest acting poison known to man. Mediocrity is the slowest acting poison that will ultimately kill us over years, if not decades. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the twisted and ironic thing about everything to do with today's rant. If you fail, what if you say, well, you know what, Pete, yeah, I'm going to try it for a year, but, you know, it sucks, man. It's not going to work, and I'm going to fail, and it's a big fat waste of time. Nothing is a waste of time when you give it effort. But if you say, oh, a year from now, well, I tried it and I failed, what is the worst thing that can happen? What is it? We're in America, so we're not going to die, or we're not going to get, you know, hopefully not going to get bombed. But the worst thing that can happen is this. You go right back to where you were a year ago, and you've only lost 1/85th of your life. But hopefully in that 12-month period, you would have still had some great times. So there is nothing to lose. Take control of the reins, put the earmuffs on, don't listen to anyone, listen at this, don't listen at this, and just freaking go for it. There is no better time in history than now. And ladies and gentlemen, wow, I want to thank you for being here today. That was, I don't know what just happened, but I want to thank you for being here on another, I think it's because I'm behind the desk, on another Monday Mantra. I will be back again next Monday, caffeinated, with a whole gangload of other stuff on my iPad to rant about to whoever will listen. Thank you so much. If anybody needs anything, if anybody wants anything, you know where to find me. Lots of love, get out there, and good luck. Mwah!